First of all, if you work for a company that doesn't know how to spell torque, it's all right. As a physics person, I tell you torque is T-O-R-Q-U-E. Now I'm going to ask you, what does torque mean?
Oh, that's a fantastic question.
That means you don't know it. All right. When they repeat it, torque refers to the rotational motion that is caused by an applied force to a rigid body with a pivot point. Right?
Well, that's why we put the C, because we're clearly not that.
Not smart enough for that. I got it. All right. So once again, when I ask you, I say, bruh, tell me something interesting. I don't know. I like to do stuff. Then eventually, as he talks, he says, oh, I just only got into tech because I want to spend more time with my family. I used to be in film production. I'm sorry, what? And what's the best? Oh, I worked on a little movie called Spider-Man 2. The McCarthy one, right?
Andrew Garfield, yeah.
Which one?
Andrew Garfield, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Was he cool?
I never met him. I was a second unit team, so I was with stunt double the whole time, who was actually very friendly. Yes.
Nice. See, yeah. So is that not interesting? Why can't my speakers, when I get to you, if you bury the lead like this one more again, I swear we're gonna be fighting. Now, he also worked on an ESPN 30 for 30. I used to live off of these. Who played electric football? Y'all too young. You played electric football?
Yeah.
Young people, do you know what electric football is? There used to be these metal boards, and there was a thing in the bottom of it, and you put the little dudes on it, and they just did this. And then you played against people. He did a 30 for 30 on a whole documentary on a bunch of grown dudes that was in a basement playing electric football. That's the one you did, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. This dude is interesting and he's smart. Make a whole lot of noise for Mr. Jason Torres.
Wow. That was an awesome introduction. Am I going to do this the whole time? Do you think it's just like, can you guys hear me if I'm like this? Yeah. Okay. All right, that's cool. Well, anyway, yes, I am Jason. It's great to be here. Everybody make sure you the GoFundMe that Todd posted, make sure you go check that out. Like, helping people is very near and dear to my heart, so that was awesome that he put that up there. The schematic to community, just for some context here. My son is on the spectrum, and he has L-Chiola, where it's like he repeats things over and over again. And on paper, you're like, wow, that might get a little annoying. However, it managed to get this amazing song stuck in my head. I don't know, do you guys know this one, by the way? Have you heard of Rick Astley? Anybody? No? Okay. No, never. Fantastic. Well, this will be an experience for you then. What this whole thing had actually helped me understand was that the song wasn't just about like a relationship and consistency. There are so many values in this song that if you look at it from the outside, can translate to any part of your life, especially in communities, building communities. So what I've done is sort of carved out the whole song and tried to understand it from how we could use it as the foundation to build the community that you're looking for in a positive way. So this is like the table of contents. It's all there. I don't know if you can read that. This is probably an accessibility nightmare, but this is what we'll go over. It's kind of a joke. I don't expect you to read this, but it's all there. But again, this all sort of stemmed from wanting to find ways to help people and grow community organically, and I do dedicate this to, this is Jack, that's my son. He's taking, he takes pictures while he FaceTimes me on our, that's him. That's him in a nutshell. So let's just kind of get into it. Obviously, none of us are strangers to the term love, but I don't mean that in a romantic type way here. It's a collective of affection for the mission to grow and help people in authentic ways. I think every great community starts with a shared purpose or a common struggle. A lot of them, when you think about how you met some of the people that you're around today, what was it? It was tech. For most of us, it's tech. It's some sort of a piece of tech or software that then got you interacting with somebody else. So everybody has that like foundation. We're going to go over a couple of the rules. Obviously, a lot of you know the rules. So do I, and that's why I think I'll probably be the best person to tell you about them. Community building, though, is about acknowledging these rules and not teaching entirely new ones. So build what your community needs. I think the guy, Vince here with the mafioso last name that gave the talk yesterday, mentioned build things that your community needs. And I thought that put it in my notes here. So obviously, again, you know the rules. So do I. I do need you guys to give me a full commitment to understanding what I'm about to go over, because I think if you do get it, you'll really be able to help the communities you're in and perhaps start a new one. So the commitment is that you wouldn't get this from any other guy. And who is that guy, you might ask? Shout out to Marino. I had to put, this is like the most handsome dude I've ever seen. So, and he's actually here, so let's bring him out. Everybody clap for Marino. Oh, he's not here. Oh, I have to do this? Shit. Okay, so he's actually not here. Apparently I'll be the guy. That's me. I'm Jason. Community builder, former filmmaker, which Roxy loves hearing about. I have 3 kids. Been married. I will be married for 9 years next week, so that's pretty cool. Hey, babe, I know you're not watching, but... and I also like to think I'm not a terrible person. One of the first community things that I started, and again, this really is what made this important for me. When I started in tech, I didn't have community at all, and I started doing Twitter Spaces, just like meeting some of you and just talking, listening to your stories, and all of the Josh Goldberg talks and Todd Libby talks, all the things that I had no fucking clue what they were talking about. But it was cool because I was experiencing it and I was building these relationships with people and starting to understand it better. So myself and a fellow boot camper, Jacob Astley, shout out 100 Devs, we started the Tech Commute. And the Tech Commute was literally just me leaving work and driving home, and in that hour drive that I had home every day, we were learning, and we were talking about each other's struggles, we were talking about each other's days, and we started to get a community around that. We were starting to find that people were not only interested in what we had to say, but just interested in giving us their stories too. So what happened was, about a year in, Jacob's wife was diagnosed with cancer, and that was super hard. Jeez, this always gets me emotional talking about it too. So the first thing I decided to do was like, I know all of these people that we just brought together in this community. I want to do a virtual conference. So what we did was, I had about a 2-week runway on this. I put together a 2-day conference. We had 20 speakers. We had like 700 virtual attendees show up, and we were able to raise like $12,000 for his family. So again, it's like, that's authentic community. When people come around a common struggle or just somebody in their community that is hurting or needs help. And again, that's why I think it's super important. Like Todd brought that up. I thought that was like awesome that he did that. So make sure you guys reach out and help with that. Let's get into this though. Sorry, I totally digressed there. I want to tell you how I'm feeling. And I got to make you guys really understand that these core reasons these core values are what is going to be the best practices for how to connect with people and help them stay there. I think that's the other thing with community, is just continuing the practice. So the first one, reliability. Unwavering reliability is defining this as consistent presence, even when it's difficult or it's inconvenient. I think we all can attest to, we can't be there all the time. It's hard. Being a part of a community is hard. It is work. But in order to be a valuable member of community, you have to contribute and be consistent with it. You see it where people kind of ebb and flow. It's important, again, to just always be there. The community must be able to count on you. And at the same time, you have to be able to count on them. It's a two-way street here. Steadfastness. I did not know what this word meant, by the way, so I had to look it up. Vow to remain loyal and present, especially during challenges in times of crisis. I think, again, this goes back to Todd bringing up what was going on with his partner. even in times of crisis, these are the people that you can rely on. Being able to talk about those things, or even just have a support system, whether it's financial or just emotional, is super important. And that's, again, another thing that people should be able to do. In this digital age, this is a vow against fleeting connections where we choose to stay put. When you come into a community, I don't think anybody ever expects to just pop in and pop out. Or maybe you do, and that's fine too, but I think if you're going to be a part of an organic community, like authentic, and you genuinely do want to help people, you're looking for long-term like interaction and engagement. So that's where, again, like never going to run around and desert you kind of plays in, because they expect you to be there and be there consistently. Empathy and permanence. Conflict with empathy. This is a pledge to handle disagreement and conflict with compassion and care. I've had a lot of conversations about how do you handle conflict? How do you handle situations that come up in communities? Because these are people. Everybody has different opinions. Everybody has different feelings. Somebody could be having a tough day or going through something, and it starts to impact negatively the people around them in these communities. So how do you do that? I don't think that there's a clear-cut answer for that, but I think, again, if everybody's coming at it from a place of like positive reinforcement, like you're not trying to hurt these people, you're trying to understand them, and you want to help them. I think, again, it's just a lot of listening. It's a lot of just good, open communication and dialogue, but I think there's also a line there too. So again, when you're setting communities up, you have to have transparent guidelines. You have to have boundaries of certain things, and if people do cross that line, you also have to be comfortable with having the conversation that maybe this isn't the community for them. These conversations aren't easy, but it again is also something that you have to do to protect the people that are in the community that are actively participating, that are staying positive and following all the rules. You do want to be able to create that safe space where people can be without attack. In fear that they can't even just like open up or talk about things that they want to. Permanence. There's another word I didn't know, so that was a cool one. We're here to build enduring relationships, not temporary networking connections. Intentional building, everything we do should be aimed at long-term resilience and health. I think, again, to have authentic, genuine relationships with people, they have to know you and they have to be able to grow with you. I think going through a lot of those things together builds that relationship. And again, you have to be self-aware of what your goals are with coming into a community. And obviously all communities are different too. A tech community is going to be very different than a gaming community. It's going to be very different than a cooking community that you join with your friends. But at the end of the day, the common thread through all of those is you. Like it's the people. All of these communities are just people that are connected with each other. So if you remember that is the meat of it, that's going to be really important. So trust is built on transparency, not perfection. You should always be honest with the circumstances. I think transparency, and obviously we work in tech. I think it was very interesting what Todd was talking about, all the shady tactics with certain things. Like, that sure as hell ain't transparent. Sure as hell ain't honest. So it's out there, but that makes it more important and more our jobs to make sure that we're doing that for the people around us. When they come into the community, like, build those values with them. Always be honest with them. If you're having an off day, say you're having an off day. Like, don't try to power through and it turns into some sort of a thing. I think this also kind of goes back to that cognitive load stuff that the final speaker yesterday, whose name I can't remember, was talking about. It's like, if you know, no. I think all of you can attest, like, you know someone that's in one of your communities because they were open about it, told you about it. So again, on both sides, as an organizer or just a participant in a community, that is super important. Members must commit to being truthful about the community's health in their own capacity as well. The community's health is super important. We're all trying to build these communities around certain things, and I think being transparent where it is, like, maybe we're not building as much momentum at this one community as we want to, so how do we explore that to grow it more? Or maybe, this is the other thing too, And you see this a lot with companies and community, because this isn't about KPIs. This isn't about MRRs or metrics. Like you can't like put health or like interest in something. So I think as far as like some communities, you might only have 5 people. Is that okay? It should be. There is no right or wrong answer there. But I mean, from a business standpoint, it might not be. So I think, again, having that transparency and honesty is like what this community is and what it was built for and what's important. So a thriving group develops its own history, language, unwritten understanding. Our Torque community on Discord, which is watching over there, we have all of these inside jokes in our Discord of like over 3,000 people that we actually developed an entire community swag store that has several different pieces of merchandise that are literally just inside jokes in our community. You can literally buy a t-shirt with a sticker of me as Steve Buscemi with the skateboard. Like, how do you do, fellow kids? Like, why does that even exist? Because that's what the community wanted. It was just this fun thing, and again, it connects people. This shared knowledge and history, it transforms individuals into a community. Because again, we're all building one right here. We're all part of this community, whether you think you are or not. And there's a bunch of new people that you probably met over the last couple days. Like, these are the new connections. So this is fun. This is cool. Emotional intelligence is a good community notices the unspoken pain of its members. And this kind of goes back a couple steps too, where you have to be aware of where you are, but you have to see everybody in the community too. See people that are struggling, see people that need help. A lot of people don't communicate really well as far as like emotions or feelings and stuff like that. I'm pointing at myself, by the way. But when you're around people enough, they start to notice. They start to see the things that trigger you, and they want to help you. Again, default back to Todd being awesome enough to bring up something that him and his partner are going through, like reaching out to people in your community to help you. Like, I thought that was awesome. We must create those safe spaces where it's safe for even shy people to eventually share. We love when people come up and stream with us or get on stages, just step out of their comfort zones. Roxy doing her first talk yesterday, like crapping her pants the whole time. That's awesome. But again, it's like the whole community was just incessantly texting and messaging her afterwards. So I thought that was really cool. So, you know, your heart has been aching, but you're too shy to say it. We want you to be able to be comfortable enough to say it someday. So, yeah, I mean, inside we all know what's been going on, and community leaders and members must be actively attuned to the group needs. No evasion, do not dismiss or minimize the known issues, address them honestly. We all know the game, and we're gonna play it. I think you know where this is going. The conclusion is, again, I just wanna double down on what I'm saying. The call to action here is the blueprint is complete. We all are now active agents in our own story as far as building communities. So I would love to see all of you go out and start building. And again, if you follow these rules, you never give anyone up, you never let anyone down, you never run around and desert them, you never make them cry, unless it's good cry, happy tears. You never say goodbye, never gonna tell a lie, and if you don't hurt anybody, you will build one of the best, most authentic communities that you can. So that's it for me. You guys can check out all my stuff there, or you can connect with me on LinkedIn. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Man, you know, for somebody who can't spell torque, that was pretty good, man. I'm impressed.
Thank you.